else. Good deal. Well, we just lost our guy. Oh well. All right, look at since it's just the two of us, I want to kind of go over kind of what's going on and what I've been doing in the background besides playing and getting focused out, for the new year. The last couple of years with what we've been doing in marketing and things like that, I mean, it seems like, we move forward, we move back, we move forward, we move back, but I've kind of come down to a common denominator that last year helped me a lot and helped me kind of bring in some extra revenue, and I finally figured this is the year. What I want to focus in on as a group, in our group, is just finding other marketers. Finding people to come into our programs as customers and that is all fine and dandy, but it's too short term. It's just like selling affiliate marketing or other programs out there. It could bring in revenue, but you're constantly out there searching. And I know everybody in our group, and I know Dan and Glenn, both you guys, really what you want to do is you want to find a way to bring in people for the next year and get them duplicating for you, to the point that we don't have to spend the additional time and monies, constantly feeding into our programs and generate whatever revenue that's out there. The bottom line is, in order to do that, we've got to find marketers. And we've got to find people who are looking to do one thing. They're looking to find a way to generate extra income. And, the economy has picked up a lot. And I've seen a huge activity out there. Bottom line is, the activity that we need to do is that just going out and I have spent the last month, I've been trying all kinds of ads, and we did the national ads. Literally put out over 1,000 ads in various different national online spots, and the return back on that was less than what I would call desirable. The good news is that it really didn't cost a lot to do. I did get out of putting over 1,000 ads over 1 month, it brought in 2 people into the program. So, and we have some pretty dynamic ads running out there. So between that and our email programs and broadcasting out and trying to bring people in, the sorting game is just really huge. So with that in mind, I figured, what we need to do is we need to focus in on the marketers. And the best way to do that is, and if you guys can see this on the screen out there, I think using the StairStep program, which is what I've used in the past and been really successful with, that's where I want to focus our ads. So when we do a StairStep program, and right now we have the One-Up Builder and we have the MLM Recruiter on Demand system. Those are the 2 programs. It's a $15. They're both $15 programs. If we promote these and bring people in, then we'll net out $25 out of the deal. You get $15 for bringing. You get $10 for bringing people into the One-Up Builder program, and we make $15 for bringing people into MLM Recruiter program. Now, on the One-Up Builder program, right now, they're still you get in 15. They're purchasing 15,000 leads, but you're getting 25,000. Dan, did you get your 25,000 leads?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. And Glenn, did you get 25,000 leads?
I did. Yes, thanks.
Okay, great. So now the thing with those leads, they're really designed to be using with the Ringless voice system or text system, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a few minutes. And the one thing we know for a fact is we can get in front of people. Now, both of the Ringless voice system and the text system, it really requires they have the proper tools, and I'll be talking about that here in a second. But what's nice on that, when we offer, because I've had a few people come in, we've offered them 15,000. I ran some tests out there. Said, hey, how would you like to have 15,000 leads for free? And and I got people coming back to me, so that brought in a couple people into the One-Up Builder. And the other thing is on the MLM Recruiter, there we have other marketers. Think about that. We start out, we have between 100 and 400 people back there. These people are marketing why wouldn't we contact them and offer them a chance to get some free leads or inexpensive leads? To me, they're almost free. $15 is nothing on a one-time fee. And if they share that with their group and they get 2 people that are enrolled, basically they got those leads for free, and it's a matter of contacting 15,000 people. So the ad campaigns that we're going to be working on, and I'm going to be promoting out there, is going to be pretty much trying to draw people in to get that program up, to get people to take a look at getting free leads, and that will get us going with the conversation of talking to the marketers. With that, we can find out what we're doing. We can develop the friendships, and you can share. Obviously, if they're marketing, they're going to share things with you, but you can share things with them and develop a mutual relationship. As we start building the group, hopefully, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to bring these people into a meeting like what we're doing right now, and to really start to develop our own mastermind group within our own group. But again, the main emphasis is finding the marketers. The next step, step 2 in this program, is getting people into a training mid-level program, and that's where Mentoring Millionaires comes into place. Plus, we have other programs and tools that I'll be sharing with you guys as well that we'll be able to promote. And we can also, this will kind of be an exposure to getting people interested in whatever program we're working. At this point, we can share with them our MLM program and encourage them to try our products out and to take a look at that business opportunity. But we're not really going to put a huge emphasis at this point to taking those individuals and jumping them into a business builder program, even though we may mention off to the side. And of course, obviously, if somebody is really hot for it, then sure, you can go ahead and offer them. But anybody in our business building program, like in Rain, for instance, I don't really want to talk about it unless they want to come into bronze and above right now, which means they need $750 plus to come in. Preferably, they can come in at gold. Most of the programs out there, you've got to have the ability to market. You've got to have the ability to send samples out. Samples work. That's one thing that we know. So that's our mid-level program. And then as we develop, the next step is obviously we've got to have the tools in place. People got to be able to afford it. Prospector Toolbox, the Gold Prospector, is going to be an invaluable tool for us. I don't know if you're aware of it, but the main distributor that I purchased the toolbox from, or rent from, has been providing national leads, fresh leads back there. And I think on the level that most of you guys are in right now, I think he's providing 50 leads a month. I'll be going over a little more details on how to contact those. So those are 50 people that have filled out a national form and are looking to are looking at business opportunities or may be involved in business opportunities. Again, what we're going to do is going back to step 1. Is I want to be able to offer people step 1 right off the bat and find the interest out there. Getting people interested in our products or in our MLM programs is not a the competition is huge out there, and we're into relationship building. But the Prospector Toolbox is a key element to the tools that we're having, and that's part of the expense. Now, with that, we're going to get more involved in video programs. Most of you guys have done your videos out there, and we posted it. I'm going to be setting up and sharing on the Prospector Toolbox how you can put your own videos back there and use that as a promotional tool in order to bring leads in. The main key is going to be on text messaging and Ringless Voice. Now, in the Mentoring Millionaires program, the Ringless Voice is available. It's 4.9 cents a minute. I have a separate program that's outside of what Val is doing, where we'll be able to do it 5 cents a voice, but we can buy it in smaller segments, and I have a little bit more control over that, and I'll be going over. I'll be sending out information on that program as well. But what I like about having control with this particular program versus what Val does, in Mentoring Millionaires, we have to send in a request form and send back the leads. and Tracy and them are taking care of it and broadcasting out, but we are not getting the reports back on this. The program that I have, the two of them that I'm looking at right now that I'm testing out, we have control of the feedback so we can see the success. The other thing that I'm finding is I've already had experience with ringless voicemail and or leaving voicemails, and there's some success with that. But I'm really getting much better success by sending out text messages where they can click a link and take them over to an invite to look at opportunities. And what's nice with even with ringless voice or the text messaging is we can send out a series of messages that are different. One for business, we can find those people that are looking for business opportunities, but we can also send messages out that will get us talking to people already involved. And since we're only looking at 5 cents a contact, if we contact 100 people, it's not. I mean, 1,000 people, it's what, $5 or something like that. So, we contact 1,000 people and we're spending basically 5 cents a contact. It doesn't take many contacts at that level because we know the information is getting out to them. One of the things about our email campaigns is, we blast out 1,000 emails and we get, 10, 15 people actually opening it up, but we don't even know if they're reading it or not. And unless we are picking up the phone and calling people and telling them to look for those emails, then it's not going anywhere. And it's so critical in the prospector that unless you're calling people to tell them to look for the emails, they're not looking for it. So using the cell phone right now with both the ringless voicemail and the text messaging is going to be key for getting the conversation going. Again, the texting is one of the things that is going to come to play with our advertising because obviously the next step is, and that's why we've got Facebook listed there. On Facebook, the text messaging, which I've been getting responses back on now, what I've been testing, and also the QR codes that can be generated on the messaging have been invaluable for finding the little bit more tech-savvy individuals in order to bring them in. So with this, when we talk about finding other marketers out there, and we talk about the training and things along that line, as we find marketers, tell them we have this STEP program, and it's basically it's basically 5 steps to it. First step is to get them into the entry program and one-up builders and other recruiters. It's a one-time expense. This will get them started into the marketing concept, to get them started about thinking about how to market. And then, obviously, we're going to be encouraging them to go out to find their business partners. And we should always be asking people for 2 business partners. We should be always asking people to find 2 people in their warm market that they know that would be interested in building business and have them share and reach out at the entry-level program. The bottom line is if you get 2 people in at the entry-level program, if they come in, the program's free, I've got these leads, and we can now start the marketing process. The next thing is obviously to share with them how to step up to the next level program. And again, Mentoring Millionaires and the affiliate training tools that will be available, and I'll be setting up a membership site for our group. In there, we'll have the ability they'll have the ability to check out any given program. So if they want to find out more about Mentoring Millionaires, there's going to have a way to go out and look at that. If they want to find out how to get involved and how to do marketing on Facebook, there will be a program that will be there, and each one of those will build up. Now I'm going to be building another separate membership site just for our group, and when I get that up and running, each one of these up-level and training programs will be there for them to enroll, and we'll be working it out so when they do take a look at that and they enroll, if you're in that particular program, they'll be able to enroll through your link so you can get paid accordingly. After we get people through step 1, step 2, step 3, they get the tools going and the growth, obviously, that's when we want to talk to about our primary business. Mentoring Millionaires, One-Up Builders, MLM On Demand, they're all single sale, point of purchase. They all require us constantly, putting people in front of there to get them, but they're not our long-term income. The reason why we're multi-level marketing is to be able to find quality people in order to grow, in order to find those few individuals that take off, that will give us the kind of income that we're looking for. And I've gone back and I've looked at various people that have been involved in the programs for the last 3 or 4 more years, and I find something that's very interesting. There's quite a few individuals who have only recruited 5, 6, or 7 people, but they recruited the right 5, 6, or 7 people, and they're making substantial weekly incomes. We have people in our group right now that have brought in 3, 4, 5 people who have a nice little downline that are built from those initial group, and they're not hitting home runs out of the park and making $15,000 a week or $15,000 a month, but there are quite a few people in our group right there that have not done any recruiting in the last year or two, and are generating an extra $300 to $400 a week on a consistent basis, week after week. We have a couple of people that I know of that haven't recruited in the last 2 years, and are generating between $800 and $1,000 a week because they've worked really hard over the last, in their first year, and then they were able to kick back. The common denominator on those that are consistently making money and are not working anymore is the fact they brought in business builders. That is the common denominator. Point blank is they were doing programs or doing promotions that attracted the business builders, that brought them in, and then those people had some sense of business or the wherewithal that they wanted to drastically make some type of change and did what was necessary to go ahead and build. That's why I want to focus on the business builders. So when we get people through steps, as they go through step 1, step 2, step 3, we want to say, look, you need to get involved in a primary business. The people that I talk to, I don't necessarily say they need to get involved in my multi-level business. I prefer they would because I can work with them. And if we develop a relationship, a lot of people will. But I do encourage people they go out and look for some type of strong company that's stable, that they can put people into, that they believe in. The one thing about a multi-level business is they need to own the product. They need to understand that the product has value in order to share it. Because if you don't own the product, if you don't have a full belief in the product, that business is not going to go anywhere because people just see through it. The main thing by helping people build step 1, step 2, and step 3 of this program is that they will be able to afford to come into the primary business at a business package. Because one of the things we want to look at is we've got to bring people in to the level where they can afford to come in at the upper level to build the business package. Because again, since we are building marketers and we're showing them step by step how they can build their way up to this, we want to encourage them that they do exactly the same thing. One of the things that I have seen with the people that I've been working with over the last couple of years is people just, for one reason or another, either they don't have the confidence to invest in a program or they don't have the money to invest in the program, but they have the desire. If we stop and think about our step 1, step 2, and then putting the tools together, if we can get people through these first 3 steps, in other words, we get people to bring in learn how to build the entry-level programs first. Here. Where's my... You guys can still see the screen okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, the program just closed. I'm going to bring it up. Okay. Is the plan back up?
Yes.
Good. All right.
Yes.
Look, if we get people, if we can start getting people to see that they can start marketing and bring in a little bits of income, that builds the confidence level. As confidence levels build up, then we can take them to the next level, Stair stepping is huge. Back on one of the most successful programs I ever ran, we started out with this stair stepping program. We had an entry level program where we brought people in. At that time, our entry level program was $49, a one-time fee. And then we stepped them into a $25 program. We built this huge organization. And when I finally stepped up to my larger organization, I took the leaders in that group, and it was an easy step. They could afford to come in at the business builder, the business builder level. So, if we get people to look at this, where they're ready to step at the primary, here's the things that's important when we bring somebody into our primary business. They got to be able to afford the business building package without taking food off the table. Obviously, if they put it on a credit card or make an investment along that line, putting $500, $600, or $1,000 on a credit card is not a big deal. But they've got to be able to have the products on hand. They've got to have the things they can share, and they got to be able to do it. The other thing is going to be important is they've got to have the ability to do whatever the qualifying auto ships are concerned. Generally speaking, most qualifying auto ships, run in any program, run between from $100 up to $250 as a rule. They've got to be able to afford to do that. Then with that, they got to have a plan for building, and this plan right here gives them one means. It's not the only means necessary to build a business, but if they've got the tools in the place and they've learned how to bring a few people in, they're going to be able to take those tools and then build a plan together and then put it into action. Obviously, the next thing is to have accountability. The best way I find to have accountability is to give people actions and they have deadlines and add some results to that. And, of course, last but not least, in any primary business, in the multi-level business, company events are huge. People got to be able to have the ability to attend company events. And the things that help people attend company events is the fact that they're making enough money that they can afford to go, so it's not cost them anything. One of the luxuries I've always had over the years on doing anything is there's not one event or anything that I've ever attended where it wasn't paid through the profits of my company. And that's where we get people starting into the mindset of being in business. Obviously, the last step in this whole program and training is getting people to reinvest back in the business. It's absolutely critical that we get people to understand that if they're bringing revenue in, especially if they're stair-stepping their way up, they've got to be able to take that revenue and not use it for putting food on the table, but taking that money and reinvesting it so they can exponentially grow their business. This goes back to the same concept that we were taught as kids of putting in our dimes in our piggy banks, or opening up a bank account and taking a certain amount of our income and putting it off to one side. Reinvestment is huge. So here's kind of what I'm looking at is a typical suggested plan that when we talk to people, it's very simple. 90% of the people we talk to are consumer-orientated. They're not business-minded. That's a fact. I mean, every day, and it might even be higher than that. We've got to get people out of the consumer mindset and into the business mindset. What I find that people like to say, want to agree, yeah, I think I like a businessman, but the problem is in their individual lives or in what they do on a day-to-day basis, their confidence to do something is lacking. So the way to build confidence is to go through small successes. So again, this gets back to the accountability. If we get people into the one-up business builder and list builder, and then we get people in the MLM recruiters, we now have a simple plan that they can start working and get them the focus to bring in 10 people. And if they do that combination of both, they can earn easily up to $250. Obviously, the next step is if they take that $250, now we get them to upgrade into the Mentoring Millionaires, which is a definite. There's a training program back in Mentoring Millionaires, which is excellent, but also getting people involved in the group. Now, I've been fairly active back in the Mentoring Millionaires Facebook group and given some input back there. And I've gotten people to know who I am and been in contact with a few builders out there. I'm starting to develop a relationship with those individuals. Well, the thing is that we build up a mastermind group. In this group, if we focus on finding 3 people to come in, that's a profit of $900, but you're just finding there 300 people. That, again, will allow them, if we can show them to take the Mentoring Millionaires build a 900, that should be more than enough to help them take it to the next step to get involved into our networking company. If we get into our networking company, then all they need to do is focus. They can find 3 people, and if they did nothing but did 3 people and ran them through this plan, it would be extremely stable. If everybody looked at their networking company and brought in 3 people who followed this plan and brought in 3 people, and let's say it took a year to do, in that year's time, not only would they have made an extra $2,000 or $3,000 over the time just on the secondary plans alone, on step 1 and step 2, but if they had 3 who brought in 3, and then those people were trained to do the same, if we look at any compensation plan that's out there, if 3 bring in 3, that's and are coming in at the business builder plan, at the upper end of the business builder plan, where they're generating an extra $100 to $200, and then they have people on auto ships that are steady, that is generating an extra $100 to $200 on a weekly or a monthly basis. This is when people will start seeing, just on, if 3 who bought 3 who bought 3, if they did nothing else but over this year, but just concentrate on doing this, by the end of the year, in their networking company, which is our ultimate goal over the year, that if they had 3 who bought in 3 who bought 3, that basically is giving them 3, 9, and then 27. That's basically giving people roughly 30 business builders organizations. That will put anybody over into a nice income. And the bottom line is, these are people that will stick and will continue to build. And this is a system that I truly believe that people will, can follow, and we can do short-term successes to build to long-term. So look at. Bottom line is, one of the biggest things we have to get across to people is, number 1, is we need to share with them how to reinvest their profits to keep building their business, and reinvestments in ads and step-up programs. Once people get an idea that they can reinvest, if they take that money and reinvest and grow, and they just stay on a steady plan, it doesn't have to be a monstrous deal. In the long term of things, obviously we can get people to come back. Let's take a look at this. We can get people to come in on this entry-level program and start making contacts through MLM Recruiter. So here, total, are $30 one-time investment, and they can start working that program, and we can help share with them. Now, those of us that are into the toolbox and have that, let's help them do promotions. So you guys will have the ability, and I'll be going over this, when somebody comes in, get them to make a video. Put that video in a capture page. And then give them that capture page, just like I've been building for you guys capture pages, but now with Toolbox, you can do your own. Give them and have them use that as their broadcasting tool to start getting more entries. As an example, if you were to go into your Toolbox and help and put a capture page for them that was directed, so you can have Joe's Program Builder, for instance, give them that capture page. Now you can keep track of where they're sending, and when people fill out those forms, you can now call your person, your recruit, and say, hey, you just got a response off of so-and-so. And so let's go ahead and contact them, and let's build with them. Now remember, in the entry programs, both in the One-Up Builders and MLM Recruiting and Mentoring Millionaires, it pays us, because these are one-up programs. We want to get people to get that first recruit in to the program, because that helps us. That brings us a new recruit to us, and also brings in income. So we can well afford to take and and help them focus that capture page to help them build. It comes back to you, but you're in control of that, but you have a third person to help you. And of course, if we can help them get their 10 in, because once they can start having that success, is you're helping them reach that requirement by 10. By, again, you say, look, here's your capture page. You need to broadcast this out. Go back to your MLM Recruiter, broadcast this out to 20 people. We're going to offer those recruiters, we're going to be offering them an extra 20, we're going to be offering them 15,000 leads to help build their business. Just think on MLM Recruiters when we send out an email to those people and say, hey, and just subject line, I have 15,000 leads that I would love to give you. Now we go ahead into the message and say, I have 15,000 leads that is now available for the low price of $15, which is next to nothing. Contact me to learn more, and you have a link, and you send them over to. You have a link, and you send them over to your One-Up Builder list. That's it. Same thing with Mentoring Millionaires. Again, we have, when you get somebody mentoring millionaires, if you go ahead and set up a program, and you think about what I've done for you guys, a lot of times I do an entry for you, and then I add your link in order to get it over. And I will have some of the entry videos that will be available that you can go ahead and plug into, which are invites. So I'm in the process of, I've already got a couple done, but I will have invite videos as well. So you really don't need to make your own video. You can take my invite video, put it on their page, and I will invite them to go look more about that system. But the key element is when you, in your prospector toolbox, if you are generating a capture page for the person that you just recruited, and you get them using it, that will help start creating action, because that's the biggest issue that we're seeing in the group is we're not getting the action that is necessary. So, that's kind of what we're looking at. So here's the thing. I will, for those of you now, again, this goes for those who listen to the recording. This will be on a capture. This will be on a separate page down below. If you haven't joined the One-Up Builder, you got to get into it. If you haven't joined the MLM Recruiting, you got to get into it. And then what I recommend is that you, the group, if you don't have your 10 One-Up in your One-Up system yet, we need to focus on getting that done, because you've got to accomplish it first before you can ask somebody else to do it. And then and we can do it right from using the MLM Recruiters, and we can also do it, most of you have got leads back in your system already, is we can start broadcasting out to those leads the offer to go ahead and give them 15,000 leads. I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now, Val and them are giving out 20. When people order the 15,000 leads, they're getting an additional 10,000 on top of that, so they're getting 25,000 leads. When they get those leads, we can help them by plugging them in to our ringless system or our voicemail system. So, it's like Dan, for instance. I can take some of your leads, plug them into my voicemail system, and broadcast them out on your behalf. The reason for doing that is I got to get you qualified. So that will help pay me back on my initial cost. So here's a way that we are reinvesting back in our people, and we're kind of doing it forward thinking, but when that income comes back in and we help them grow, it's paying for itself. So real simple. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. So we will be promoting basically a 5-step program to success. First step is getting your leads, and then moving from there. And of course, I'm going to be expanding upon this more over the next 30 days. What I want to see everybody kind of work on right now is go out and start inviting people, business builders, anybody that's looking, and say, hey, right now I can guarantee you can get 15,000 if you act quickly. There may be a 10,000 bonus in on that for you. But the fact of the matter is, 15,000 leads, $15 is a no-brainer. You've got to get it. Then we will share with you how you can market to those. And then that's where you get into the toolbox text messaging, and you're running this voicemail, and we can get into that. But you can start that program with it, because I know everybody that's in this group right now that I'm talking to, most of you are already in the toolbox. Most of you already have, even in the toolbox, we have text messaging back there. So if you haven't gotten involved in YEP texting, you still have the ability to do the texting part of the ads that we have. And I'm also going to be going over how we can start launching Facebook ads as well. Now, one real quick note here before I'm going to stop the recording here. I am testing right now that when on the Facebook ads, when somebody responds to our Facebook ads, they will get a message in their Facebook message box to click a link to go look. So when somebody when somebody goes to our ad and clicks on that ad, they're going to get a message to take it to the next level, to invite them to take a look at something. I've got the system pretty well set up. It's going to be automatic when they do that. So I've got a couple little bugs I need to work on, but before the end of the month I'll have that set up. Then I will show you guys how to go back and get started on doing some Facebook promotions. And you can basically set it up. We can set up the test where you can get in front of 300 or 400 people very quickly for less than $5, for $4 or $5. That's the minimum you can go with. So it makes a very inexpensive ad. I am taking a look at some things on the national ad campaign, but we did not get enough response off of that. And I think the reason why was that because there were over 500. I think there were 500 people in our group that were doing the national ad campaigns and got completely our ads got completely washed out. Even though I made them different than the generic ones they were using, it still got lost in the level because there were people posting ads, and there were 500 people posting ads in these 1,000 publications on a daily basis. And I think we just got lost in the sea of things. So, all right, I'm going to kind of before I close out on this, you guys got any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, Dwight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Dwight. Okay, on the you mentioned on the Ringless voicemail. So you're working on some plans. You have some programs in mind. So when do you think you probably in the next month or so?
Oh no. I'll have it up within the next week.
Oh, okay.
See, what's nice with the separate plan is we don't have to get people in Mentoring Millionaires to use it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is a separate program, over and above what even Val's recommending. And I know Val's recommending a program on the people that get up at one-up builders, and it's like, and that program is 10 cents per message. And the program that I have is 5 cents per message starting, and I can get it lower if we buy volume. So as we get our group up, we can actually get the price lower.
All right. Thank you very much.
So that's, but the cell phone messaging and text messaging, ring the voicemails are probably going to be the crucial part of most of our promotions. Even on the ad programs that we add, I'm going to be directing people. We want to get people's cell number so we can send them a message. Okay, because we can track that, and that's the whole point. It's all about tracking.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Anything else? Any other questions?
No, but I'd just like to wish everyone a happy New Year, prosperous, health, safe. It's Morgan from Honesdale, PA. I got on late, but I'm here.
All right, hang on 1 minute.